Hey everybody, welcome to the Ask Medium radio show. I'm your host, Rev.Ivy Rivera, psychic medium, coming to you from the Ivy League Psychic Academy in Buffalo, New York, where we are raising up the next generation of light workers. So we are here with you on ParaX Radio, answering your questions tonight. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Tree Matuszak. How are you, Tree?
I'm great. Hi everybody. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And we have a lot of questions that were spillover from last week that we need to get to, and then we're also taking your fresh questions so you can send them on in. We are doing psychic mediumship, paranormal, lost objects. If you have spiritual development questions or personal questions for Tree and I, what you can do is text them in to 716-602-1391. I don't need the dash because I'm not texting by voice. That's how much I text. By voice. Period. Thank you. Exclamation mark. Talk to you soon. Smiley emoji. So you guys could text them on in. Okay. Again, I'll give that one more time. 716-602-1391. You can also go when you log into ParaX to listen to the show. You can log your questions in there, or you can go to Ask a Medium.
Yep, Ask a Medium Para-X. It's an event page. Just put that right in the search bar on Facebook.
On Facebook. Okay, so Ask a Medium ParaX on Facebook. All right, so you guys send them on in to us and we will get to as many as we can. And I want to immediately jump in here to one that I have coming in from a 585 number. And he wants to know, I was wondering if my wife's dad, oh, I see. Okay. I was wondering if my wife's dad, Robert, might have a message for her. He passed on early at age 48. Thank you, from Manny. So are you ready, Tree?
Yes.
Let's see if we could pull something in here from Robert. Okay, I'm feeling like when I'm going over here with him, seems to me like he's been waiting for these opportunities. I do feel like he's around. I do feel like he's watching over you and has taken advantage of this. I would almost say he set this up so that you would be able to find your way to the show. And so this would almost sort of magically appear, okay, in this opportunity. And the way that I feel it went around the time of his passing was almost like I'm cringing a little bit. I feel like things are getting very tight in my body, and it feels to me like it's rather quick. It almost feels like a seizure type of a situation, and he's okay. It does seem to me that there was a sense of a lot of things unfinished, and where did I put things? Okay, so he was dealing with a little bit of, are they going to be able to find everything? Do they know where everything is? And I feel like around the time of my passing, I really didn't need to worry about that, okay? There were also other loved ones there who saw this coming, who knew that this was coming, and they were there to help him cross over on into the light. And so he really didn't want to go back. As much as he wanted to make sure everybody was okay and situations were resolved, he was quite peaceful about going forward. And I feel like a birthday or an anniversary coming up right around this time, he is mentioning a red rose, and could you please pass that on to her in gratitude to you for loving her and keeping an eye out. And I am in the house, especially in the back of the house a lot and around that bedroom area. And it feels like off to the right down that back hallway. Tree, what are you getting with him?
No, I'm right there with you. I also kept hearing like a closet, something about a closet. But no, he sends his love. He's very, very happy where he is. Everything's good where he is. And it just feels like, take care of my girl, take care of my baby girl, sending a ton and ton of love. He just feels like such a really sweet, genuine guy. Mm-hmm. Very, very loving. So, yeah, that's...
Very happy, very just chilled out. Like,
very relaxed.
Like optimistic and like joking and like, high energy, but very chilled out at the same time.
Comfortable. Very very much.
A lot of that is just his personality, which makes it nice at the time of passing. If you have that type of a personality, if you're not super controlling and fear-based, it is a smoother passing. So he is doing very well. We thank you for that question. We just want to throw in real quick before we start getting to some of the texts that are starting to come in, and then I want to move over to last week's questions. We want to make an announcement here on a couple different things. Do you want to announce the psychic fair, and I'll go over on some other stuff that's coming up?
Sure. This Saturday, At the Seneca Hose Fire Hall in West Seneca, New York. It's 2801 Seneca Street. We are having an Ivy League psychic fair. We have, oh my gosh, so many readers. I think 9 readers. We have a whole bunch of vendors. We have 2 gallery shows running. I'm really excited about this. I will have my jewelry there. I'm going to be reading. You're going to be reading. You got your girls reading. This is exciting. I'm really, really excited.
Me and the girls are making the debut up on the stage together. So me and my 12-year-old Garcia and my 17-year-old Rain, 3 of us will be going on. For the tag team gallery, it is you and...
your girls, Rainin and Garcia, and then also
Jules Wagner.
Jules Wagner. She is amazing.
Paranormal investigator and amazing
love
medium.
Jules. We're hoping to get another team member up there, get 5 of us rolling, because the energy is so good when we've got more. But the 4 of us will rock it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a good show, and we may need them at their tables, so we'll just see, kind of how that goes. And we do have 9 readers, but we also have astrology, we have tarot, we have an angel card reader, and a ton of vendors supporting all local artists, authors, jewelry makers, local people. So it's going to be a great time. So come and check us out there this Saturday from 1 to 7 p.m. Again, the Ivy League Psychic Fair. There is an event page, business page up, and we'll be announcing that on the radio and other stuff. I'm also going to be at Fog 2.0. I'm also doing the Mercy Flight event in July, and I'm doing Community Closet on Sunday. They're having a craft fair. I'll be doing readings there, and I'm also going to be at Margin Manor coming up here soon. There's just a ton of stuff going on. Check out classes here. I want to say real quick too, for psychic mediumship development, tarot, Reiki, astrology, all kinds of things at ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. There's a lot going on right now. Okay, getting back to the questions like we promised to do, I'm going to start with these from last time. Okay, spillover questions that we couldn't get to. So we're going to start with this one just sort of randomly from a 940, so not so random. Okay, from a 940 number. Will I ever meet anyone? It's pretty straightforward. Will I ever meet anyone? What if we just said no? What if we were just no, this is as good as it gets?
You're done. No.
That's how I feel some days when I wake up. I'm just no, this is never going to happen for me. All right, will you meet someone? Let's see what we get with that. Okay. I feel somebody coming in with a lot of energy. Kind of a little chaotic.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sort of looking at this person. I'm do I want you to come in? Do I not want you to come in?
Slow down.
You're is this what I ordered?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I want to say that I do see somebody coming in here for you, but it's a little bit kind of you need to be careful what you ask for. And I feel you love helping people. I feel you have a lot of love to give. I also feel you're very protective. And so it seems to me while you want to give all of this, you may very well attract somebody who is going to be the opposite of you and require a lot of balance with all of that. So I feel this person's sort of coming in almost like a Tigger type energy, trampling into your space, whoa.
Yeah.
And some situations that they need to work out, a little growing up that needs to be done in some situations, but I still feel at the core, a good heart, and I feel a passionate connection. What are you getting with this?
Yeah, I got a strong yes. As soon as you read it, it was yes. My guides love to just spit those straight up answers out. I'm feeling high energy. I'm feeling sometimes it can get a little chaotic, but I'm definitely getting that there is good intention and there's a lot of good in there. It's just know where your place is at all times.
That's a good way to say it.
You have to maintain your energy too. But yeah, no, I'm actually seeing it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels to me like a ton of humor. Take this person with humor.
Yes.
And if they throw temper tantrums and if they act immature at certain times, it's sort of just be yeah, you go do that. You're going to come back. Yeah, I'll be here when you're done with all that.
It feels a few months out though. It doesn't feel anything immediate. I'm not getting anything immediate. It feels like it's still a few months out. Mm-hmm. 4, maybe?
I was going to say, I was going to say possibly 3, but it feels like it's probably going to hit more the 4 mark. 3, and 4. Then 7 months out, you understand this.
Yeah.
A lot better, and you... and you'll see what it is. I feel a ton of potential here. So I feel like invest. As long as we're growing and learning and having a good time, there's a ton of potential. And this feels like I'm really the right person in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it feels fun, but it feels like there's going to be a little bit of chaos there, but not necessarily bad chaos.
And here's the other thing. Mm-hmm. When we're talking about relationships, and this is the radio show, so we have 3 minutes. You guys can book private readings with Tria or I, okay? But this is the thing, too. You have to take your time when you're looking at future possibility relationships. This can go in a lot of different directions.
Yes.
But would you agree that you're not allowed to skip steps?
No.
You can't level jump.
You really can't. You have to kind of just take it as it comes and go with the progression. Like, you can't force someone to be the way you want them to be. They can't force you to be the way you want them to be. It's relationships take growth and understanding.
And if there are lessons in with someone else who's coming onto your path, and you're supposed to have that relationship, not every relationship you have is the end-all be-all, but you can't just avoid it and go on to something else.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just not going to bother until it's the one. I'm like, your one will not come unless you're open enough to going through the development of other relationships.
You got to work at it, too. Even when you find the one, it's still a work in progress. You know what I mean? It's not just handed to you like somebody on a silver platter. Ta-da!
Came out of the box this way. Yeah, yay! You got like beams of light coming out of it. The one has arrived. And I see too a lot of people, they're like, well, is this my soulmate? And I'm like, well, yeah, but you have how many others? I mean
well, that's the thing. I was actually just having this conversation not too long ago with I'm trying to remember with who. I think one of my in-laws. But the thing is soulmate means so much, just like twin flame and everything else. Doesn't necessarily mean the one you're supposed to be with the rest of your life. It could be your child. It could be a parent. It could be your sibling, a best friend, a grandparent. Doesn't mean a soulmate. Doesn't necessarily mean somebody you're going to marry or have a relationship with. Right. But it can. You know what I mean? So
it can, but a lot of times if that person was your child in a previous life, and now you're in a romantic partnership, you understand the work that will need to be put in, right?
I think that happened for
boundaries.
Me. I think that happened for me. Because I call my husband my man child all the time. I love him dearly, but I do.
Oh my God. My friend Smith, I'm like, I am positive I was his child in a previous life. Positive. He sent me canned tuna the other day, and he was like, have you eaten? I was like, no. And I ate all the tuna. It's just, it is what it is. Thanks, Dad. You can identify, and you can have multiple soulmates with past life connection, and it can be great, but try not to make that one person the end-all be-all, because it tends not to work that way. Okay.
Thank you for that question. We just kind of trailed off.
That's a fun question. We're just on tangents today, whatever.
Cool.
Voices in my head told me to. Okay, so we are going to take this from a 914 area code. Again, spillover from last week. I have a souvenir voodoo doll from a vacation.
Sorry.
Judgment aside. Here comes the judgment. Okay, we're going to start fresh. Ready?
Okay, let's go.
Without judgment. Okay. I have a souvenir voodoo doll from a vacation my friend went on to Haiti and brought back. It is in my house and just sits there. We do nothing with it because we know better. Okay, so there's judgment here too. But will having it alone do anything that we don't want it to? Okay. I mean, now, honestly, were you feeling anything bad? Because I'm feeling kind of benign.
Not really anything bad, but
and she obviously isn't either, because she wouldn't let it sit in the house.
Sitting there. Yeah. But the only I suppose this is more of an opinion versus going right-brained and having, an answer there. Anything that has that type of energy with it, it can just sit there and whatever can manifest with whatever energy. So that's just straight up my opinion. But in this specific case, no. I honestly think you're good. I feel that it's just there.
I'm going to put it this way. I totally agree with you, and I'm feeling intuitively like I don't care if it was a styrofoam cup that was sitting on your end table collecting dust for 6 months because one day you had a bad feeling about the cup. Every time fear is introduced or negative energy is geared toward that cup, the cup will start to manifest that energy on its own and will become an area that is toxic. So if you have anything, this is why I tell people, don't wear a piece of jewelry that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
This is why you tell them to pick out the stone that has the right energy for healing themselves.
That's why I cleanse them, because, yeah.
You're right. Everything
Absolutely.
carries energy. Every object carries energy. Thoughts carry energy, most importantly. And if your thoughts, your intentions, your feelings are negative toward this thing, get it out of there. You don't need it, okay? So, yeah, it could cause problems. On its own, probably not.
No, I think it's a pretty good word. I mean, if they're just letting it sit there and they're not, like, poking it or anything.
Yeah, if you didn't, like, name it
name
Walinda,
it
the girl you
somebody.
hate from work, and stick needles in it, I don't think it's going to cause trouble yet.
Or, like, an X or something, or,
don't know.
just be like, jab, jab. Yeah, no, I mean.
And we really just don't understand a lot of things. So we get these connotations. But, yeah, I mean, it's not the best idea.
I will say this, though, because, like we were saying with the energy, different energies can manifest. If you start to notice anything like increased arguments in your relationship or just negativity feeling around, get the sage out, smudge bomb that thing, smudge your house, cleanse it out, and you should be good to go all over again, fresh start. But as it is right now, no, it's just kind of holding its own.
You pick someone at work you don't like, you let it sit on their desk.
Put a photograph on the face of the doll, right? Bing, bing.
Send them a picture of the doll with their face on the doll. Just leave it, like, tape it onto their door when they come. Or on their computer screen. It's their new screensaver. Yeah,
don't push my buttons.
You have a million options. Don't push my buttons.
That's horrible.
Oh, my God.
Our intent is not to create anything here. We're just having fun.
Okay, here's another one. Ready? Okay. Coming from a 536. I often wonder or question what abilities my 10-year-old son has. I know he has to some extent, but not exactly sure how to determine what is going on with him. Mm-hmm. First thing I'm feeling is old soul. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's
empathic.
Well, yeah, definitely. I feel like he's like, 200 and some odd years old in a 10-year-old's body. He seems old for 10. I also want to say that with his abilities, it feels to me like the last 3 years have been really strong with him, and I feel like him coming out with things. I also feel like he's kind of proud of himself in a way. Well, he may be stifling some of this. It seems to me that he might be, quite proud. Almost as though, say he found himself in a situation where he was like playing soccer or something and he predicted what the other team members were going to do. Or he was around friends a lot and he was able to predict how someone was going to behave or what someone was going to say. So I feel like what he has is a lot of psychic ability, intuitive ability to have visions and predict situations. He's an energy reader, like Tree said, empathic, which means he's also reading other people, which is a lot of the place he's getting at. I would say by 12 or 13, I would expect to see him being on levels 3 and 4 with his empathic ability and using telepathy. So being able to hear other people's thoughts, that can certainly be uncomfortable. I'm going to recommend that you get him in. You get yourself in and you can retrain him through it. The Empathic Means lecture that we have coming up at the Academy in June. Again, you can find that at ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com or follow me on Facebook at Ivy Rivera. Empathic Means lecture covers psychic ability, mediumistic ability, and empathic ability on all 4 levels and trains you in how to maintain it so that it doesn't develop into social anxiety disorders, depression, fibromyalgia, ADD, things like this. What else are you getting with him?
He feels very kind of mellow at times, but he also feels very sensitive to things, like I kind of feel like definitely with the empathic part, like his energy, like he's absorbing it like we most of us do, like a sponge, and sometimes it's like he can't figure out what to do with it, so then in those cases it could flip into where he's got too much energy or he becomes very like hyper, because it feels like there's a lot of tossing back and forth with him. It just feels like he gets confused and everything else, but he feels very sweet, very loving kid. It's just trying to figure out what to do with it. And the Empathic Means class, those are Skype available too.
Yes,
correct?
They can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just Skype in for just about anything we have at the Academy.
But yeah, definitely an old soul. He feels pretty mellow. I think that's what our difference between old souls and new souls. Old souls are very relaxed and very mellow, where new souls are hyper. It's like everything they gossip queens and this, like they get into everything.
Well, and I feel like it's the difference between high level energy in a negative way and high level energy in a positive way. Because I know a lot of old souls who are really high strung and they have that whole thing going on, I think self included, and I feel like I'm
tolerance levels too.
But but the real me is actually like, I got it.
Right?
It's like I'm really not, like I'm high strung, but I'm not, but like, you got it. And there's a big difference between that, and then the negative feeders, negative, and they just they're out of control. So there are those you got to watch out. But I feel like he's got it.
I feel like he knows too. Like he's got that claircognate thing going on, and it just feels like he knows. And sometimes when he knows, it's like it's shocking.
It is shocking, and I feel like he's here to watch over her in a lot of ways, but she's also here to be a steward for his abilities.
Right,
interesting relationship together.
Working very well together.
Also, there's been a grandfather who's been communicating with him from the other side for a long time, so his mediumship skills are quite strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of activity at night, placement of things, the way he needs things to be in his room, and so I would definitely expect an increase in that. Okay, I want to move on here to I kind of messed this one up, so let me see if I can get this. Okay, from a 574 area code. Let's see. This is Chris. Okay, I've been following Ivy on Facebook for a while. Honestly, I'm struggling in my love life. Will there ever be someone who I would consider an equal life partner in my future? I'm just tired of getting my hopes up with strangers. Aw. And even people already close to me. Okay. Though that may not be the topic of discussion. Haha, maybe next time. Okay. Well, no, we would have taken this. We just ran out of time, Chris. Yeah. So, thanks for the question. All right, let's see what we're getting on this.
Sorry. No, should I go first? Because now I'm giggling.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me... Maybe you should.
No, if
it's that good.
I'm cutting you
What
off.
is it?
No. I'm just basically getting, like, with the question about someone, I kept hearing, like, according to his standards or according to what is going to be sent his direction. I kind of feel like his standards are a little up there. So I would say come down a little bit. Okay. It does feel like, yes, it does feel like there is somebody there, but it's kind of one of those things where if you blink, you're going to miss it. Like, that's what it's feeling like to me. But this feels pretty good, though.
It does feel pretty good. I want to say that this is one of those situations where it's a matter of time.
Yes.
You've worked on yourself. You've done well for yourself. You have a lot to give. So it's just a matter of timing. And I want to say... not that, everybody believes in God, or this is just how I talk, right? But I want to say it's in God's timing at this point, or if you believe, universal energy, it's in the universe's timing at this point. So let it come to you. I feel too, like, don't be afraid to approach it. Don't be afraid to approach anything. And I feel that you've been burned in the past, and it feels like with trust issues, I have you being real quick to be like, what did you say? It's almost like, what did you say? What did you do? That's an indicator, because I've seen it in somebody else, that you will then do this to me, or you will cross me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, even though you've had to deal with that the last 2-3 times in a row, couple people, not so close to you, a couple maybe closer to you. It seems to me that you've got a good balance at this point of being like, you know what? I can see the positive and the negative in everybody. And instead of cutting you out entirely, what I'm going to do is limit how far in you can come to my life. I feel you have a good balance even with that. And that lesson was learned.
I think it's where the standards come in, because I feel like he's kind of up here with the way he sees the signs. Where I do that too, like, honestly. Like, if I'm becoming friends with somebody or talking with somebody, and there's certain things from previous relationships that stick out where you're just like, yeah, no, bye-bye, so, but sometimes you don't want to shove off completely, because there could be a lot that can be brought to the table with this person. So just because one thing, and it could be worked out too.
Possible.
So yeah,
I feel like don't disregard a couple red flags and be too hibernating and too high standard. Be realistic that every situation, every person has its own potential, and you don't know where they are in their development. A lot of people will fail, a lot of people won't. Okay. But yeah, it does feel like it's coming in to you. I'm going to say within the next year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting 1 year, 8 months. It feels like this will start making more sense.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, keep the conversation going and keep reaching out. And it's almost like if you were fishing, casting your line. Don't stop casting your line.
Best of luck.
Best of luck. Okay. Now, I know we have some coming in here from ParaX, and I'm going to give this one more time. If you guys, we are taking questions the full hour. So if you guys want to text your questions in, you could do that at 716-602-1391. You can also log them into ParaX, or you can go on Facebook at...
Ask a Medium Para-X.
Okay, good.
This one is from ParaX, from username Yup. Hi, Ivy and Tree.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you see my daughter's dad and family moving back into the area? They are on some type of strange religious crusade, for lack of a better word. Thanks.
Into the area of reality, back into the area of like atmosphere as in on Earth. I'm wondering what we mean
Community?
by this. Yeah, I almost feel like do we have them heading back into the area? I'm going to put it this way: this supposed religious crusade, okay, that you feel like they're on. And I don't know if this is. I almost got like a Jehovah's Witness type of a reference. So it seems to me like part of what they're doing and part of what they feel like they're supposed to be doing is spreading the word. Okay, it's like spreading the word. It's also investigating and learning more. Now, I don't feel that ending. Mm-hmm. I think that they will probably be back, but it doesn't feel like they stay coming back. And... Yeah.
I'm getting the exact same thing. Like, it feels literally like a coming and going kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, they might come in for a while and then gone again. Come in for a bit, gone again. And I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it's very long periods of time either.
That they're here?
That they stay.
It becomes shorter.
Right, yeah.
And they're kind of isolated. So I would say it this way. Enjoy your time with them.
Yeah. Rather
than to be opinionated or make them feel that they don't, have the love or acceptance or respect, most importantly, okay? Because at this point, disrespecting them, disrespecting what they're into is disrespecting their faith. It's disrespecting their God, their morality. It's gonna, and they're going to get angry. I also feel like sometimes they're throwing it at you and they're making it really, really hard for you to bite your tongue. The wisest thing to have happen here would be that they sort of keep their, beliefs to themselves as much as possible, but you have to understand this is taking over who they are. This would be like me not talking about mediumship. This would be like me not talking about my faith. This isn't going to happen, okay? Like, they're not going to become quiet. You, though, too, are going to have to battle sort of, I almost feel like come up with just maybe 3 different things that you can say in response to what seems nutty to you. Every time they say something and you're like, oh my God, try to control the eyeballs from rolling all the way to the back, right? Try to pull them back in.
When you roll, look at something.
When you roll, look down. And then just be like, I have comebacks.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have comebacks as a psychic medium in this society to every naysayer, skeptic, and tester out there. And I just pull them out of my pocket. I'm always prepared for things like this. Now, you just be ready for it to come so that you can become the peacemaker. And one of the things you're definitely going to want to say is, I totally respect that is your belief. It is not my belief right now, but that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless.
That would make me smile and be like, okay.
Like,
or not.
Tea time's over. Toodalooski. You're like, I gotta go. I'll see you next Christmas or whatever it's going to be. Yeah, you guys will be fine. But there can be no disrespect. And while they need to minimize, you're going to have to as well. Okay. What are you getting over here?
This one is from ParaX, from Catwoman. My dad passed about 8 years ago, and I would like to know how he is doing, and if there's anything he wants to know. Thank you.
If there's anything he wants to know?
Oh, he wants me to know.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, doesn't he know?
I was like, that was a reversal of situations. Do you want me to tell you? Want me to tell you where I hit it? What I'm feeling with him is, Do you want to go first?
No, you can go.
On him? Okay, what I'm really feeling with him is almost like there was sort of a lot of anxiety surrounding, his passing. And the one thing he's really talking about is that at the time, he was kind of heavy in the heart, kind of anxious, sort of. There was a lot going on, and it seems that things have just calmed so much. And he's more focused right now on helping you guys with love and the blooming of love. And I want to say that I'm also looking over at Mom, and I'm trying to help Mom calm the anxieties. I'm trying to help Mom enjoy being in the present moment and just to sort of take it in. And I feel like in a way you're sort of the keeper of her, or you're the one who can be leading and guiding her in this is a great spiritual class to attend, or read this book, or come with me to yoga, or like, let's go sit by the water. It just seems that there should be more to life than what she's dealing with right now. And that is something, definitely that he's trying to tell you or show you sort of, the way. I feel like he's around quite a great deal, also visiting you in dreams, and I feel like you talk to him quite a lot, but I want to say watch for the ringing in your ears. You might think it's tinnitus or a feeling of pressure in the ears, but he does use clairaudient ability with you, so he is putting thoughts into your head and trying to help you resolve some situations. I also feel like you were looking at relationship stuff recently, and he was helping you a lot with that, so your ears may have been really ringing off the hook. That was all bad. What are you getting with them?
I'm getting that things are good. Like, he's pretty good where he is, and I was definitely getting that he's there a lot. I keep feeling like over the right shoulder, like he's on the right side. I mean, they come in for me on the right side, so I always, right side, but I get that he's here, and he's always just kind of watching everything, but I kept hearing the word button over and over and over again, so I don't know if this is reference to a button on a shirt. I don't know if that's a prosperity symbol, like not a prosperity, but a symbol. I'm not sure if that's really a symbol for something, but I kept seeing like an open shirt and like buttons undone, but then I'm seeing another button, then I'm hearing button it up, and it's just button, button, button. So, but yeah, but he's good. He seems like, he comes around quite a bit. He watches over things, and yeah, no, that's about all I'm getting.
I'm just feeling with him too, like, when you were talking about the buttons on the shirt and stuff, because that's my symbol for prosperity as well. He was mentioning some stuff with her work, like her work and career moving upward. And so if he's showing you buttons, almost like button up the shirt, it's almost like we're getting to the top. That's almost like a ladder symbol, which I got when he first came in, too, was him on a ladder, which is also a symbol of prosperity. So I feel like improvement in your work, and he's helping you with that.
Moving forward, definitely.
Forward and upward, and just keep going. And also, he keeps showing me leaves. I feel like leaves showing up for you. Like, he's gifting you leaves, and they seem to be coming out of nowhere. So watch for them in places where you wouldn't expect them to be, but a ton of love. And I don't know if you just went out to, like, visit, his grave, or you were just talking with him about this, but know that he was absolutely there. And I feel like he does travel with you in the car quite a bit as well.
Yeah, he's a lot.
The last 3 months have been a lot of him being around. Okay, thank you so much for that. We have another one coming in from Para X. Okay, I'm going to move.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I thought there was a fire. Okay.
Okay.
I'm afraid to move.
This one is from Karen W. Love. Hello, lovely ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
Would it be effective for me to try to put protection around my little empathic boy for him, or does he need to do it himself?
He needs to do it himself.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes we are in situations that can get too energized and getting him to stop and do empathic meditation. And it might not be a possibility.
Well, and I would like to know his age. I mean, if she could, send me his age. Because on one note, I'm feeling like, what is he, like 3? Or is he a little bit older? I understand that situations get, excitable, and that none of us, I mean, I'm 36 and I don't want to stop and do my quick bubble meditation to protect my energy,
Right, I don't got time for that.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't like to calm myself and have to visualize something, but he does need to learn to do it himself, and there are a lot of quick, easy things that he could do. You can prepare before you go into a situation. You also need to let him trip and fall sometimes.
He's 8 years old.
Okay, so we were like,
getting
yeah.
5 to 8 in my head.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is cool.
So he's, he's up there now. He's up there at least enough to the age where, here's what I say to my 9-year-old. When he's like, oh, I'm having so much trouble at school and I can't, and it's this and it's that and it's the other. And I said, oh, really? I said, have you been doing your exercises? Have you been making sure before you go in the room, or, you're sitting next to someone who's going to, their energy is going to bother you? Did you make sure that you put your unicorn shell around you or your eggshell? And he'll be like, no. And I said, well, when was the last time you did it? And he'll be like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, that's been a long time. And now you see the consequences. Yeah. Just like brushing his teeth, right? Or getting exercise or whatever it is, he's going to have to learn to maintain it for himself. The younger the age they can learn to maintain it, and then realize how quick the intention setting can be. From practicing it, the better off they are, because it's nice to be able, now after doing these exercises for years on myself, it's very nice to be able to go into a mall or something and go past the food court and be like, oop, blocking, no likey, the food court energy.
Put up the blinders.
That's it. Laser beams. I mean, whatever ridiculous. My unicorn horn goes back in. Whatever I need to do to be comfortable.
I just don't go in the mall.
Or just avoid the mall. Yeah, and we're all going to end up like ordering from Amazon everything we know.
I do.
No, I know. So do I a lot of the time. But
yeah.
The quicker he can be like, and that's because we live this way. That's why we are this way. Right. I wish someone had caught me at 9 years old.
Heck yeah.
God bless you, Mom.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Don't end up like Tree and I mean,
no. It's rough. The older you get, when you don't have that person to really, help you along, or even really recognize, oh man, is it tricky? And then you sit here at 30 plus years old and you're like, oh, that's what I was, okay. But no, since he's young and he's at that age, I mean, my gosh, far more impressionable too. It gets rough. But, my cure, rocks in the pocket.
Rocks in the pocket are a good trick. Absolutely. Cat's eyes?
Tiger's eyes, Apache tear, black tourmaline, citrine. All these stones are good for protection. They'll help protect his aura. They'll help bounce negative energy back off of him. You can wear them on a necklace, put it in your pocket.
But again, and every little empathic kid gravitates toward the citrine. I mean, there is something, especially
that
especially the little boys.
It's good for creativity too. It helps you to maintain yourself, to be yourself, as it's helping to protect you.
But make sure he is cleansing them himself.
Absolutely.
Make it his responsibility that he is taking care of his stones, recharging them on his own.
Yep.
Make sure that he is, doing his blocking exercises, and that it's not just about, okay, again, I'm going to recommend the Empathic Means lecture to you, Mom, and you could bring him in for this, but it's also about him learning how to positively put the energy back out. That's what we talk about in Empathic Means, is you cannot just block all the time. You have to learn about energy transfer.
Right.
So give him tasks to do, whether he trains in Reiki. The youngest Reiki practitioner worldwide was, I believe, 9.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it is. He is ready. I mean, have him learn Reiki, have him learn how to maybe give a reading, have him find other outlets, creative, also artistic, to put out. You have another one?
Yeah.
This one's from Facebook, from Danielle Denise Spooner. I was hurt 2 years ago at my job. I've been in a lot of pain, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong. Will this get better anytime soon, or do you have an idea of what it could be so I can get treated properly?
Can I have her name one more time?
Danielle Denise Spooner.
Okay. And did she say that was a back injury? Is that what we're focused on today?
No,
I was getting the back too.
Yeah, I'm getting the lower back.
There's
a nerve off to the right. Yes.
But what did you say
What was the?
She doesn't know. She said she's been in a lot of pain, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong.
Okay, so we're obviously getting to the root of the problem. I don't even know what the question was, but it's basically like this. I think we're seeing the same area.
It's right
here down. So the lower back, it feels like something radiating out. For me, I'm getting it on the right side. Which are you?
I'm more in the center. to the left a little. It feels like somebody's just jabbing me.
Okay,
right?
and that's what I'm feeling. Is almost like a stabbing pain, almost like a pinched nerve.
Yeah.
Or like something just dysfunctional. And it seems to me like it radiates. Now, when it starts to radiate...
And if it's a disc or what
this is where the trouble's coming in. So it almost feels like going down, down the leg.
Down the leg into the knee, and then...
And all of this.
We can't prescribe or diagnose, but, I mean, this is what we're literally getting physical impressions here.
The same identical, physical impression.
Yeah.
So
it's uncomfortable.
And because we're light workers, we're not just tapping into your body and saying, what does she have going on? Right. We're asking, what is for her best and highest good?
Right.
And so that's the information we're both getting, is that is the area to target. Yeah, that's the area to have them look at. Now, I feel like they might be looking at it almost like a sonogram. I also feel like they're looking inside it, okay? But I also feel like them really blowing it off and being like, oh, really? Oh, is that uncomfortable for you? Oh, that's unfortunate. And I'm sending you on your way. Now, I don't know if there are insurance issues as well. Or possibly your insurance is not pairing up with what, they should be able to do for you. But I feel like this needs to seriously be looked at. I also feel like it's affecting you with anxiety. I feel like it's affecting you in the chest. I almost feel like you're either having issues breathing. It feels like it's making you kind of heavy in the chest area. And I'm feeling you getting dizzy. So this is, I want to say, becoming at that point. Again, we cannot prescribe a diagnosis, but it feels to me like when it gets to that point, you should be finding yourself in a position to go to a specialist where you can say, look, I'm feeling dizzy. I'm feeling like this is affected. I'm feeling like that's affected. And here's what I believe the root of the problem may be. But it's almost like stop beating your head up against a wall. Stop going and saying to these same old doctors, this is my area of concern. Look at your other symptoms and areas of concern that are starting to come to the surface and be like, help me with this. And then slip it in there that this happened. It does feel like there's a male doctor finding solutions for her, but I'm feeling maybe 7 to 8 months out still, and you have to push hard.
Yeah, you have to kind of keep on it. And that's what's hard about these situations, too, is that people get stressed out, and the stress can affect you in other areas as well. So it's like everything becomes like a big mess. You know what I mean? It becomes a big annoyance and aggravation and everything. So, yeah, keep digging at them. Keep working at it, because the solution's there, but yeah, it's going to take a good...
You're going to have to be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, and it's going to have to be like, look, I'm nauseous all the time, I'm dizzy, I feel like I can't walk, I'm having anxiety attacks in my lungs, blah, 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 and it's almost like, get off of this that you've been focused on, get onto the other things, and then it will get us. And I'm almost feeling like to the... North, south, west, east. Okay. So it would almost be like to the west. Okay. I'm going to the left of like where you live. I feel you having to travel out a ways almost to see the specialist. So if it's just either a few towns over, even as far as like we're in Buffalo, I would compare it to like Rochester, maybe like an hour drive or whatever. You're trying to branch out from your typical area. And the guy I'm seeing you work with is very sophisticated, knows his stuff, and has a genuine heart to be in the field. He's one of these doctors that really belongs in the field. Okay, so we will also be sending you some healing, and don't be shy to, come in for Reiki with us. I know we have another one coming in from there, but I also have one coming in here, so I'm going to go to this. I want to go to a 508 number. Can you help tell us where the missing $500 is? My first reaction was that somebody took it. Is that what you're going to... I could tell from her face, and the third eye did not need to pop out today. It's you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone snagged that, is how that feels to me. Like, basically a male stole it.
Yeah, it feels kind of like I keep wanting to reach under the table. Like, it feels like something just kind of slip out from under kind of a thing I'm getting there.
And it felt to me almost like it was debatable as to what form it was in. Like, it almost like if it was in, like, an account or it was in, like, a paycheck form. I feel like it was taken that way. But the way I originally saw it was the way you saw it, which was that it was, like, almost like cash. But it was like my hand went under the wallet.
Yeah.
And I saw it swiped out from under the wallet.
Like it was sliding out. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
the exact place of where it is now.
Gone.
Yeah. It's not.
I feel like, have some understanding of who maybe is connected to who. It feels to me like I'm sort of looking at like a friend, like a brother, like a friend type energy, sort of,
a lot.
coming in. Yeah, just kinda, okay.
That's unfortunate. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That stinks. Karma.
This one's from Para X from Wendy. I have a partial memory of something traumatic that happened to me as a child. Should I pursue trying to remember it, or let it go?
Elsa Frozen song is in my head now.
Oh, really? Like, which one? Where she was like...
Let it go.
Oh, Let It Go. Okay. Wow, you've watched it a couple times.
Too many.
How could you not? That's your 8-year-old niece right there.
Yeah, 5-year-old niece every weekend is Elsa.
5-year-old. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, there's your answer.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like hanging on to those things that you can't necessarily get a resolve from is going to just keep dragging you down. So it feels like you could try to, through, different things like meditation and so forth, try to remember what that is, but it's up to you. It's free will. It's up to you as to how far you really want to go, but I'm just kind of feeling just...
Like energetically, what would be best is just sort of removal. I feel like, here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you on the Reiki table, and I'm seeing you receiving Reiki, but in the act of receiving it, you're actually going through what is like a state of relinquishing toxins and blockages. I mean, which is Reiki at its best anyways, but it's almost as though you're figuring it out yourself in the way that you said it, Trey, which is like a meditational state of mind. Mm-hmm. But I want to say that you need a hand. It feels to me like, don't keep bashing your head up against the wall. I'm going to say the same thing I said to the last girl with the medical issue. Don't keep going to the same place and being like, let me have it. Should I retrieve it? Can I retrieve it? There's a lot of fear surrounding this issue. Yeah. And if you have the comfort of having someone else there giving you something like Reiki, while you're opening yourself up to whatever kind of healing you need to receive, and this is key, open yourself up to whatever healing, whatever direction your growth in your life needs to go in. Try not to over focus on this one thing, but look for other areas of your life where the healing can take place, areas of improvement you need to make, and all roads will lead back to it anyways and give you the answers you're searching for. You're kind of coming at it from another angle, okay? And you need to loosen up on that a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another one coming in here. All right. This guy, Nick, wants to know, I had a dream. Okay, I was talking to my mother, had a weird feeling. She told me I had a brother that died. I started getting emotional. I kept repeating over and over that I had a brother. So I decided to talk to my mother, and she was super surprised. She told me that this did actually happen. Okay. So he believes that he was watching the actual loss of this child. He wants to know, does it mean anything? He's also saying that he had the dream during the anniversary month of when it actually happened in real life. Very intense. I've got goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like it could be the brother who is just letting him know he's around. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm kind of feeling from it. Like it's time that, you know me or something like that, that he's always around.
Well, that's how it feels to me too. And I just want to say that this is an opportunity to build a bond, gap that bridge. And oftentimes with these situations, we have a lot of soulmate connection going on. And it feels like this may be one of them where you guys have soulmate connection. You have jobs to do. You have work to do together. Remember, soulmates are not always boyfriend-girlfriend or boyfriend-boyfriend or whatever it is. It's not always romantic. And the two of you have work to do. It will continue to go on that way. So what he is going to be showing you more and more is different directions that you need to go in order to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. I feel excited.
If it's weird, I was getting this vision in my mind of like childhood, and I'm getting like it's almost like a wooden truck. You know how some kids have, like, you know, the metal trucks, and then there's, like, the wooden vehicles, the ones that have, like, the, you know, they're carved out of wood, and then
yes,
the wheels. This is like a red wooden painted truck. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like playing with you through childhood and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it feels like he's been there, like, your whole life.
Yeah, like, there's been a long time coming, and I was also getting that he's going to return. So whether he returns as an actual sibling or not, I feel like he's trying to do this. So you guys will be together. I don't know that this will last more than 4 years. Yeah. Him staying 4 years our time. I don't know. That might be a blink of an eye to them over there. I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, he'll be around. Probably as a guy. That feels like to me too. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty amazing. You're obviously very gifted and in tuned, and he loves you very much. It feels good.
That's really good. Receiving that message too, when you get specifically that, when those messages come to you in your sleep and everything. Sometimes when we wake up, the moment we wake up, they're kind of lost. It's like poof, they're gone.
Unless it's that dynamic. And then there are things that are real.
When it is straight, like, you need to know this, it sticks in there. I've woken up a few times muttering things to myself too. Mm-hmm. So,
and also, you know, you have anniversaries as opportunities for people to come around. We often think, oh, somebody passed, you know, and they're around a lot right after they pass, and then they disappear. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh no, they were there so much for the first, 3 months or whatever after they passed, and where did they go? I just want to say, sort of on a side note, birthdays and anniversaries of their passing are a great opportunity. So you guys be open and use those times. Now, granted, he did it intuitively. He didn't even know. I mean, he found that out. But that's exactly how it works. That's great proof of that. You have another one coming in over here?
Yeah, this one's from Para X from Catwoman. There's someone in my life that I feel I had a past life with. How do you know if you were supposed to reconnect or if you just have unfinished business and need to go your separate ways?
Say that one more time.
There's someone in my life that I feel I have a past life with. How do you know if you are supposed to reconnect or if you just have unfinished business and need to go your separate ways? Based on
the level of toxicity.
Yeah, negativity and yeah, exactly. I mean, you can have that connection, but if that person's around and it's constant negativity, constantly dragging you down, constant negating everything you say or whatever it is, you just don't feel right or feel yourself around them, then it's kind of, you need to cut that cord.
And that's hard to do.
Extremely, yeah.
With a past life connection.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have fruitcakes all the time, and I'm like, see you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But then there are other people where it's like, oh my God, I can't do this. I mean, you feel like you're going to die. Or, if say it's, just a friend, it's someone you're not necessarily romantically connected with, you could still feel like you think of them all the time and you can't get them out of your energy, and they won't stop coming around either because they feel it too. It is tricky, but the thing is this. We have to remember that just because we were together with someone in a past life, it's not as though we're supposed to spend that same amount of time with them in this life, or that it's even supposed to be right now. So the most important thing you can do is to be like, what are the lessons? What am I supposed to be learning from this? What's the point of all of this? I would also put it this way. I found myself in a couple situations, and just one recently, and people will ask me, what the heck were you thinking letting that person into your life or into your business or into your world? Well, this is the thing. I run based on what Spirit tells me I have to do. So if I'm told, the universe tells me, God tells me, you are going to let this person in, you're going to do this, you're going to work with them for as long as I tell you you're supposed to, that's what I do. It's not as though you don't know it's toxic. Mm-hmm. You know it getting into it, but I abide. So here's another serious question. This is for everybody out there. If you feel as though you're supposed to deal with someone, I don't care if it's for 5 months or it's for 5 years, you can't run. You need to finish whatever your job is with that person. And sometimes, you may feel like you're kind of the punching bag. Sometimes you may feel like you are there just standing there watching them fail and choke themselves and hang themselves. Sometimes that is your role. You still need to finish whatever your part is in it in order to feel like you've completed the task. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's toxic and you have cord issues and you have whatever. No, I believe that it is what it is. I don't want to get to a place where I've ruled everybody out. If they bring in any kind of negative, I believe it's all about the lessons.
Absolutely.
So, but you do need to gauge and you need to ask this, say a prayer about it and ask, how long? What is the purpose? How long am I supposed to be here and put up with this? And when am I free to go? The minute you get a ding, 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 you're free to go. Time's up. That's it. Move forward. Yay. Bye-bye. And it will be easier.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But if it's romantic, it's never that easy.
No,
Still,
it never
hard.
is. I mean, because if you're the type of person that's a loving, giving person, and you want to help everybody, it's hard to separate. It's like you're being dragged down, and you're dealing with negativity and everything else. But it's really hard to just go, and you hope that they kind of go on their own and it fades out,
but
and then you're safe. But yeah, no,
they don't. And that's the thing, is that you have to. Somebody always has to be kind of like the grown up or the one who's evolving more. Okay, and that is the one who understands energy cords, energy manipulation, pulling each other back and forth, and don't allow that to happen. And that's a whole nother show, which I believe we had a month and a half ago.
I think
so. Check out the
like
archives on YouTube and Para X. I think we're going to be putting up archives here soon. I'm not positive, but that would be a nice.
Parax,
I think that might be one of the new systems that are coming in, unless I misread.
It's exciting.
It would be great, but I think we do absolutely have everything archived on YouTube.
On YouTube,
so just go and listen. Okay, a couple weeks back. Are you doing a Stone tonight, or should I talk about some of the upcoming things that are going on? Okay, so I just want to welcome everybody, to keep sending in your questions for next week. Okay, we'll see you here on Ask a Medium, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be posting that on Facebook. If you are interested in psychic mediumship development, I will be announcing a couple new level 1 classes that will be coming up here at the Academy. We also have Meet Your Guides, Coffee with Your Angels, Reiki training for levels 1 and 2, as well as Masters is this month. And if you want to book, excuse me, talking myself to death. If you want to book a reading with me, go.
With me, Tree, you can go to Theresa Tree Matuszak Psychic Medium on Facebook.
That was short. Okay, and I'm at Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com, or find me at Ivy Rivera on Facebook. And check us out, Ivy League PsychicAcademy.com, where we are raising up the next generation of light workers.
Good night.
Take care of each other.